Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how to make this box bag. It's a really lovely size. It's 6 inches by 5 inches by 2 inches, which in centimetres is 18 by 12.5 by 5 centimetres. And to give you an idea of how big that is, inside here I have 20 thank you note cards and 20 envelopes already made. Not that you would probably want to have that much, but that just gives you an idea of the amount of room that there is in there. Okay, I'll pop those back in there just to keep them nice and safe. Now this is also a one sheet wonder, no cutting, but there is gluing. And I found this on YouTube. It was a video posted by Kelly Gettelfinger, who goes under the name of Always Stampin. She posted this about 4 years ago, yes, 2012, that her video was posted, and I thought that was just really great. I'm often asked if I will do one sheet wonder videos, so this is my second one like this. So I'll pop that over there. I'm changing my colour scheme. I'm not going to change the design though, because I've kept to a design that's quite quick for a video. I will show you one that I've done later where it took a lot more time, which would not have been ideal for a video. I will post the details of the other one on my blog. Right, I'm going to use soft suede, partly because it's one of the sheets that I've got a 12 by 12 cardstock for, but also because I wanted a DSP that's got a white background to it, and I'm a bit limited on that as far as new DSP is concerned. But I like this writing. Well, I like this writing full stop, but I particularly like this one because it is on a white background. Okay, so that's why I'm doing the colour that I am. So, card pieces you're going to need. The cardstock is 12 by 12, and this, as I say, is soft suede. In centimetres, that's 30.5 centimetres squared. For the DSP, you need 2 pieces that measure 4 7/8 inches by 5 7/8 inches, and that's 12.5 centimetres by 15 centimetres. Then you need another 2 pieces which measure 1 7/8 inches by 2 7/8 inches, which is 4.75 by 7.25 centimetres. Be careful if you've got a directional pattern like I have, which way you do your cuts. Other DSP you're going to need for the handles, you need 2 pieces that measure 1/2 inch by 11.5 inches, and that's 1.2 centimetres by 29 centimetres. Then you need 4 strips that measure 1/4 inch by 6 inches, which is 0.75 centimetres by 15.25 centimetres. And then you'll need some Whisper White cardstock for the flowers that I've done as the trim, and I have done both sides of mine. You don't have to do that, but I just think it looks nicer when it's done like that. So to start off with, we'll work on our big piece. So I'm going to bring in my score board. Now I am changing a couple of things from the way Kelly did hers. I won't go into what she did and what I'm changing. I'll just show you what I'm doing. Right, first of all you need to score at 3 inches and 9 inches, which is at 7.5 and 23 centimetres. Okay, so that's my 3 inches. Oh, it's a little bit of a bump. I'm just putting some wax paper over my cardstock to help my stylus run a bit more smoothly. So that was 3 and that's 9. Do you see the difference in that? That's I'm not happy at all. Turn the paper, the cardstock, 90 degrees and then score at 5 inches and 7 inches. Metric, that's 12.5 and 18. Five and 7, and that's all you need to do. One of the things that Kelly said, which I'm following, is she had seen this on other videos, but she felt that there were too many score lines on it and it could get a bit confusing. And the way she has done hers, although it involves just folding cardstock, which, as you know, I don't like because you get much neater folds by scoring, but those fold lines do get concealed. So I'm totally with Kelly on that one. So what we need to do is fold on our 4 score lines. Make sure you use your bone folder to get nice crisp folds. As always, make sure these all line up nicely. If they don't, you'll have problems later. Now this really is very, very easy to do. There we go, that wasn't lining up totally correctly. I'm not sure why that happens. Right, so we have our piece like this now, and we want to have the piece that's got this little narrow section facing us. Okay. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is, on here, put this finger, this one here, resting behind that score line, this finger down here by that score line, because what you're trying to do is to get that line lining up parallel to here, which is going to give you a crease diagonally. Okay, so once you've got that finger there, keep those over like that, because that will help to hold this piece down as you're coming up. Now I can only take this so far, then I have to turn it around, so I hope you can see this okay. So I'm lifting this one up, my left hand up, and I'm making sure that my right index finger keeps pushing that down, and then you will find that that will come over quite comfortably, and then you can line it up with the fold down here. Let me just press that down so that I can show you what I'm doing. Okay, so what I have done is I have brought this bit to line up with this piece so that that is totally straight along there. Okay, it's bouncing down a little bit at the moment, but that's alright. I'll flatten that properly in a moment. Okay, so what I have on this side is I have this fold. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make sure I've got this really nice and straight, and then I'm using my bone fold. If you put the point in first so that you can get right into your corner, and I like to just put my bone fold underneath. Let's make sure that you can see that. I like to make sure it goes right underneath so it goes into the corner there. Doesn't need to be flattened out or anything down there. Don't push hard, otherwise you'll come straight through the other side. I just like to make sure that it is actually laying flat. Okay, so you just need to do that to all 4 sides. So when it changes over to this side, use your right index finger to come behind the fold, use your left index finger to hold down there, and these fingers to hold that one down. And then as you bring this over, keep this hand still and bring this one over. And then you line it up onto the fold that is sitting down. Just squash that down a bit. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Okay, so this has lined up along this fold here. Alright, now I have to turn this round this way again so that I can get that flattened properly. Now first of all, I'm just making sure that I have still lined up correctly here. And then I'm going to flatten that with my finger first because I'm working left-handed now. Now that I'm happy with that, I will just go in and do it right-handed. You need to be a little bit of a contortionist here. And then just slide that underneath, just make sure that corner's nice and flat there. Okay, so that's how that side is going to be lining up. Now we've got to do the same to the other side. Okay, so we put the left index finger there, right index finger down there, keep those fingers holding that one in place, and then bring your left finger forward so that goes down to line up with that crease. Just give that a bit of a squash. Okay, so that is now lined up with that one there. Okay, turn it all around so you can see it. Don't worry that is coming away a little bit because that part will all be glued down. So make sure it's nicely pushed down with your bone folder. Make sure the corner is out properly. And then there's that one. So now we're going to do this last one. Okay, right index finger, left index finger, and push those. Then make your right index finger pull that fold to line up with that fold. That's it straight. Get that little bit of a push so you can move around. Press it down with your fingers, then squash it down with your bone folder. Make sure that the underneath corner is pushing out okay. So there we go. There we have our box. Now we're just going to put some glue on it to hold it together. So what we do first of all, and I'm using Tombow. If you want to use fast fuse, you can do. I did try using our tear and tape, but I didn't think that that was holding together as nicely as I wanted it to. So first of all, I'm going to do these two bits here. I can't call them triangles, a bit like half a house really. So I should have made sure that this was ready to go before I started. Let's put that on my bit of kitchen towel there. I think that looks okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is do a line down by that fold, by that fold, by the edge, and by the edge. I'm not going too close to the edge because it'll start oozing out. Now that's going over there, that's alright. Got a piece on my hand there. Okay, now we're going to do this one. Down by the edge, down by the diagonal score, up by that score, and across, just a little bit in the middle, and then down to these two, at least using colour like the soft suede it's quite easy for you to be able to see where I'm doing the snail. Tombow rather. Right, so let's pop that top back on. Oops, sorry. And now that's right, fold these two over. Okay, they should line up. Mine's not lining up perfectly, but that's okay. The glue will hold it all in place. There's only the tiniest of little overlap there. Right, now I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure all the inside there gets adhered down nicely. And then that one as well. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, so that's all adhered down nicely. Now we need to get this bit done. So again, using Tombow, we are going to put glue on this triangle here. Down by the score line, along by the score line, and up by the edge of the paper. Now this one here, it doesn't matter if you go right up to that score line, because that will be sticking across here, but just don't go any higher than here. Okay, so there's that one. That one. I didn't do very much there, did I? Okay, now we do this one. Along the fold, along the diagonal score, down by the edge, just a little bit over the edge there. And then here. Close to the edge, but not too close. Okay. Now we bring our box up so that closes, but to make sure each bit gets adhered properly, you need to lay this down on the ground, and once you've got it laying on the ground, use your bone folder to flatten all that down. Okay, I can't do this standing up, with my box standing up, so I will just lay it down to do this. Now if you find you get any glue oozing out, like I just have done, make sure you clean your bone folder as soon as you realise, otherwise you're going to be spreading that glue all around everywhere. Okay, so that's that one done. See, so that's all nicely glued down, all nicely adhered there. And now I'm going to do this side as well. Make sure the corners get adhered down nicely. Okay, so then you should finish up with your sides should all be adhered down straight. Okay, so that's all. Let's see if I can push it out a bit so you can see that side and that side. See, I've got a little bit of glue there on that one. Just there. I'll leave that to dry and then I'll use my eraser on it. Okay, so that's how you make your box. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do our decorating, and what I want to do first is put the handles on. No, I don't, do I? Oh, that's a point. No, I'm going to decorate the front, then put the handles on, and then while they're drying, because I put pegs on them to dry, I'm going to be doing the flowers. Okay, so let's decorate our box first. Again, you can use whatever glue that you prefer to use on this bit. Tear and tape, snail, fuse. And don't forget to make sure you get it out the right way if you've got a directional pattern. That's it, and then flatten it. And then the other side. If you wanted, you could put the DSP onto your box before you glue it all together. The reason I prefer to do it this way round is just in case something goes wrong with putting the box together, and then you've wasted your DSP as well. Okay. Personally, I don't find it much of an issue doing the decorating once it's all glued together. Okay, put that on that side. Make sure that's all nicely adhered. And then the last piece. There we go. So that's that all done. Now, what I do for getting my handles equal, I measure in an inch in and an inch down, make a little cross, and then I make sure that that cross goes just on the inside of the out piece here. Okay, so it would have to be on this side, you've got a cross, and it would have to go on that side, just underneath the inside of that side. Don't do it that side and that side, otherwise you'll finish up with different places. Right, okay, so, and an inch is 2.5, I think, is it? I think, yeah, 2.5 centimetres. I think that's the only thing I've actually learnt about centimetres. I don't try using them. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do, that's an inch. I'm going to draw a pencil mark. Now this is going to be hidden anyway. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. And then an inch down. So where? That's an inch down. You can't do it like that, silly Billy. You've got to do it that way. That's an inch. And that's an inch, so that's... What are you doing? That is your inch mark. Can you see why I struggle so much with getting things straight? There we go, that's it. So that's my inch and an inch. I'm not worried about the other one because that'll get covered up. Right, that was painful, wasn't it? Right, let's do an inch here. Move over, that's too heavy, it's falling. That's about there. inch there. An inch there. So that's where those two cross. Oh, it wasn't like this yesterday. Let's try that again. That's an inch. That's an inch. So that's where that crosses. And let's do an inch this way first. Get that down to about there, that's it. That's 1 inch, that's 1 inch. Oh, there we go. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, so what I'm going to do, take your strap first, your handle, and then just very gently give it a little pull through so that it's bending all by itself. It will be so much easier on here. So what I'm going to do, a little bit of Tombow, and I'm just going to put my strap to cover up, and then this one, I will cover up that one, and you see how the strap will curl by itself. Okay, so you just make sure you keep it straight like that, bring it round and pop it on, and then I peg mine to keep them on while I work on the other sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guess an inch for my Tombow. Pop it over there, just cover up my pencil mark. It's easier if you lift it up off your desk, because if that is pushing down on there, it's fighting against what you're doing up here. So put one peg down there, one peg on there, so that'll help that be drying, because by bringing this one over, you're putting pressure on this, so the pegs will hold it. So now I need to do this one, do an inch. Make my pencil mark, come to the outside there. And then I do one peg at the top, and then one peg at the bottom. They will hold. Now do the other side. I do an inch. I've got two crosses there now. And looking at that one, it should be up there. Well, the flower would cover up the rest of that anyway. So that's one. Try and put pegs on upside down now, whatever next. Alright, now let's do this inch. Turn this over, cover up the little cross mark, put a peg on the top bit and a peg on the bottom bit. Okay, now I'm going to put that to one side, allow it to dry. I'm going to bring my scraps in, I'm going to do my flowers. I'm using these two. I'm going to do the same as these because it's nice solid colour going against the white background there. And I'm using Petite Petals, and it's this one here. and Flower Shop is this one here. Right, so I need 4 of these. Let's see, I've got my arrow coming down here, which is what helps me line this flower up with my punch. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fortunately, this one doesn't need to be lined up at all. All 4 petals are the same. Let's start it around this way. There we go. Let's move those right out of the way. Right, we do the little ones first. So that's those. Now this. Now just give all of these a little curl with your pencil. Nope, didn't do that one, did I? I don't worry about these being very raised because I tend to do that once the bag has been finished and I know all the glue is dried. But at least by giving it a little bit of a curl, it will be more receptive to being curled up further later on. Right, so to put these together, just put some Tombow in the centre, tweezers, and I line these up. I tend to put the petals of the little flowers in the gaps of the bigger flowers. Okay, so that petal goes in the gap there. Okay, so that's those. Now I'm going to attach these strips. Now this is going to be quite easy because I've got nice lines going across here to help me. You'll be really pleased to know Right. I put a bit too much glue on at the beginning there, so I'm just going to dab that onto my kitchen towel to move that. That's better. Right, then I'm doing that on that third line up. There we go. If you finish up with a little bit of an overhang, which with the measurements I've given you, you probably will do. I should have given you the length of these for the actual width of that DSP. Right, now I'm going to leave a couple of lines of the writing. I think that looks about right. That looks about straight as well. I'll turn that over and do the other two. That's not enough. That's better. Oh, what did I do? 3. That's halfway through, and then 2 complete lines. And the last one. And then what did I leave in between? 1 complete, so you've got a bit, 1 complete, and then a bit. Okay, so does that look straight? Yep. Let's move that along a bit. And cut this one off. Okay, if you want, you could actually do 2 lines across here as well, but I thought that would give me too much grief trying to get those kind of lines straight. Knowing me, they wouldn't line up, so leave well alone for me. Okay, so all we need to do now is pop these on here and then put our pearls in the middle, and we're done. Obviously there are trillions of different ways that you could decorate this, but as I say, I've tried to keep it relatively straightforward so that it doesn't take too much time on the video. Now what I do with these positionings, I have where the petals are separating at the top there, this bit here, going onto that, and I position it so that the flower comes near the top of the box. Okay, so they look about level there. Now this one, I'll do the same to these. You could use dimensionals on this if you like. Right, make the divided petals go near the top. And divided petals. Yep, they look about equal. Make sure I haven't knocked those sideways while I've been pushing down on it. So let me just get my pearls. lay this down again. I think it's worked out quite well with brown. I did have reservations about it, I have to admit. But I think that's been okay. So there we go. What do you think about this? Lovely project, nice decent size, and really easy. So let me just show you the other one that I did. In fact, I've got a couple to show you. The very first one I did, I have to say that I used non-Stampin' Up products because I thought if I was going to waste it, I wasn't going to waste my good stuff. And this is the one, okay? As it happens, it's turned out really quite nice, except this is where I didn't think the glue had worked too well. And this was the tear and tape. Okay, so that's, I really don't recommend that. I mean, it could be that it's what you expect if you're not using Stampin' Up paper. I don't know, but Tombow really does not let you down. Now this is my one that I spent quite a bit of time on, which I'm really quite proud of. That's this one. Okay, so that was the flourished thinlits I've used there. I put lace over the handle. I did both sides as well, but obviously that would be far too much. Now the other thing that I want to show you is it's very easy to use this design to make this one here. Okay, I didn't include it in here because I'm still trying to work that bit, because at the moment I don't like the way that that crease is happening because it's just been folded rather than scored, but it's been made as more like a clutch bag. The inside is exactly the same, and I just put a magnet on there. And this is the first one of those I did, which is non-Stampin' Up, except for the ribbon, of course, that is. And it's empty, so that's not really looking too good. But will I do another video on that? If I'm asked to, yes, I will. But it is very similar to this one. Anyway, many thanks for watching my video today. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I really hope you give it a try. I'm really quite pleased with it, I have to say. And thank you very much to Kelly Gettelfinger for her video that she posted, because that's where I definitely got this idea from. Okay, if you have any questions, please leave a comment in the box below or email me at janb@janbcards.com. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I've used, please click in the box below on my 24/7 link, and that'll take you straight to my Stampin' Up shop. If you've enjoyed my video, please click on the subscribe button so you'll always know when I've posted another video, which is normally every Wednesday and every Sunday. And finally, I will put all the products and all the sizes on the screen so that you can see it. But if you're watching this on a device that doesn't show all of this, again, click in the box below and everything will be down there for you. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.